So this is going to be a response video to the Savage White Pandas video in regards to anime fans that can ruin a series for you depending on how they act. Now I'll give you a little bit of a history lesson, and I actually want to give a full-on video later on at some given point my experiences with getting into some of the more popular series or whatever, but something that kind of heavily relates to this, and it's unfortunate that it happened, and I'll get to a lot more of it in a bit, but Naruto, it took me 5 years to get into Naruto, and I think I've said this story maybe once or twice before, but when I first heard about Naruto, it was, I believe, 2005, I want to say. I heard about it through one of my younger cousins. He was telling me basically about how amazing this series Naruto is, and I'd seen like little commercials here or there, and I remember thinking like, oh, he, has similar orange clothes as Goku. Again, I was ignorant at the time to anime, manga, all I knew about was Dragon Ball Z, and I think at that particular point, I knew about Yu Yu Hakusho as well, but I still didn't really know about anime or whatever. So I kind of was just like, whatever. But after hearing him say all these crazy things about Naruto, it actually put me off to the series. I mean, he was saying things like Sasuke would use this jutsu and take down Vegeta, Naruto's cooler than Goku, all of these things, and I was like, yo, at this point, fuck that series. I'm never gonna watch that garbage. Get it out of here, because just hearing all these things, especially, you're putting down some of my favorite, because, I've been a Dragon Ball Z fan since as far as I can remember. Like, I was about, I think, 5 or 6 years old when I first seen DBZ, maybe even 4 when I was introduced to it. So, to me, that's like slapping me in the face right there. So, for 5 years, I didn't even want to know nothing about that series because of my younger cousin. And that's where it goes into this topic, is that sometimes anime fans can actually ruin a series for people. And I think one of the most important things is you need to move past that mentality of actually caring to a certain degree what people say and letting it bother you. Because there's been a couple instances even earlier on in YouTube when I would see like, constant comments about a particular series and how it's the most amazing thing in the world, that I would be like, oh, I'm so sick of that. I'm not even going to bother checking it out. I'm just tired of hearing about it. But after a certain point, I kind of just got over that. And I think that that's something that definitely people should have in mind, is no matter how much people maybe annoy the shit out of you about a series and overhype it and all that stuff, do not let that sway your opinion one way or another on whether you should check it out, because sometimes you can miss out on one of the most greatest things. I remember Steins Gate, because I constantly heard shit about it. I was like, oh, I'm so tired of it. I don't even want to watch it. I eventually watched it, and I absolutely adored and fell in love with the series. And that's where I'm saying that basically you should not let people maybe sour you to the series or get you annoyed with the series just because they're constantly talking about it, because you can miss out on something great. I mean, I ended up 5 years later absolutely loving Naruto. I mean, at first when I watched it, I still wasn't convinced until I got to the Chunin exam, and I was like, I love this shit. Likewise with Steins Gate. I mean, it's just something that you cannot really allow other people's opinions. Yes, you can hear them. Yes, you can disagree with them or debate them, but don't ever let them sour the experience to you. I mean, to a certain degree, to be honest with you, with Toriko, constantly, for a while, it was Toriko is GOAT, it shits on One Piece. One Piece is garbage compared to Toriko. Everything that you review is shit compared to Toriko. And for a while, I was like, stop it with the Toriko already. And then I eventually said, fuck it, and I gave it a shot. I mean, I enjoy Toriko for what it was. The big question, why don't you review Toriko? It's just not something that I can, on a consistent basis, really get into, to be honest with you. It was just something that I enjoyed for what it was. I watched some of the anime. I read the manga for about 160 something chapters, I believe. But it just wasn't for me. It was just like, it's okay. I enjoyed it, but I really didn't get hyped into it. So that's one of the big reasons. But had I not even given it a chance, because constantly hearing about Toriko, then I wouldn't be able to even formulate that opinion. And that's something that you should come to the conclusion about a series on your own. I'm sure there's a lot of people that they won't even give Attack on Titan a try. They never gave Naruto a try. Hell, they probably never even gave One Piece a try, because people constantly overhype them. And don't get me wrong, there are those fans that they will continue, Oda's the greatest, One Piece is the greatest story in the entire universe, fuck everything else. Likewise with Attack on Titan and so on and so forth. But the mentality that you should go into that is, this is just this person's opinion. They might be too hype about it. They might be overzealous, and their overzealous attitude shouldn't affect me in any which way. Again, that's my take on this whole situation as far as people kind of ruining a series for you or souring a series to you. Definitely don't be like me, in 2005 saying fuck Naruto, and then eventually 5 years later saying fuck, I wish I would have gotten into Naruto earlier, or Steins Gate, waiting years to watch that and stuff like that, because you could miss out on something that you'll probably love, or maybe you might not like it, but then at the very least you can have a solid formed opinion as to why you didn't care for it, why you thought it was bad, why you thought it was good. Definitely give it a try yourself before a fandom ruins it for you, because sometimes people can really, drive it into your ear, but it's up to you to be like, no, I'm gonna give it a try myself and then formulate my opinion. And let me know, have any of you guys ever had an experience where a fandom in particular was like bothering you about a certain series? Like, honestly, I've had an experience with almost everything that I review where I could see the best of a fandom and the worst of a fandom. I mean, down to, I remember I used to say, oh no, the Bleach fandom is the best fandom. They don't really, go crazy or anything. And I remember one time I gave a chapter like a 2.5 out of 5 and people were going absolutely crazy. You fucking always talking shit about Bleach. I'm like, 2.5 out of 5 for a chapter that was mainly like Yuzu and Karin in the kitchen. Like, relax, bro. I've had it with every single series. Hunter x Hunter, during the Greed Island stuff, there was a couple of episodes where they were just training. I was like, it was okay. People going crazy. Naruto, I got in death threats when I gave one of the episodes. Like, I think I gave it like a 7 or something, a 7 out of 10. And people were like, this is the greatest episode ever, blah, blah, blah. It happens with all of them. One Piece, it happens a lot too. You just gotta be like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna continue with my opinion and not let people's sour and overzealous nature fuck with me. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.